So here are my 3 tips and 3 strategies that I use to make sure I get booked up and stay booked up during the low season. What's up guys? In this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 tips that I use consistently all the time to keep my properties booked and performing well all the way through the low season as a short-term rental property. So whether you're managing other people's properties on Airbnb or short-term rental, whether you're hosting your own, whether you're investing in properties, you're really gonna wanna leverage these 3 tips that are gonna allow you to keep the property booked up and performing well all the way through the low season. If you do this effectively, it's gonna raise up the return you're getting on your time, on your investment, on your purchase, everything. It's just gonna make you way more money. It's gonna make sure that you're always covering your expenses, and it's just gonna make your whole year a lot more profitable. And this is honestly a huge opportunity for a lot of investors out there, because I see so many people trying hard to squeeze more juice out of the orange in high season, and they're doing everything they can to take advantage of it. What they don't realize is there's way less competition, and it's actually way easier to outperform the market in the low season than in high season. So this is a really great untapped opportunity here. So here are my 3 tips and 3 strategies that I use to make sure I get booked up and stay booked up during the low season. Now, tip number 1 is an easy one. Have a really great pricing strategy. Make sure that you're not being overly optimistic with your pricing is my number 1 tip, because in high season, the name of the game is getting the highest possible nightly rate, because there's going to be so much demand that you're almost guaranteed to get booked. It's just a matter of how high of a nightly rate can you collect. Whereas in low season, the name of the game is just getting occupancy, getting your property booked up so that you don't have nights just sitting completely empty in the calendar. Because there's less demand in the low season, you're not guaranteed to get booked. There's a lot of properties that are going to just sit vacant, and you don't want yours to be one of them. So you want to be more conservative, less aggressive in your pricing strategy, and make sure you have more realistic prices. Just make sure that you're actually tuning your prices to the level of demand that there is. So that's tip number 1, is having a really, really good pricing strategy.
Guys, just want to take a quick break here to say that for those of you watching who want to build cash flow and long-term wealth by purchasing Airbnbs and short-term rental properties, there's a link in the description right down below for a free training that'll walk you through my exact strategy for investing successfully in Airbnbs. Now, if you're not ready to actually buy properties and you want to get started managing other people's properties on Airbnb the same way I got started, and build a full-time income managing other people's properties, there's actually another free training linked in the description down below as well that'll be a really great fit for you. So whether you want to invest in short-term rental properties and actually build amazing cash flow and long-term wealth by acquiring the assets, buying the properties themselves, or you're looking to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb, we've got some awesome trainings that are linked in the description down below that'll definitely help you out. When you sign up for the trainings, we're also going to send you a few other tools and resources completely for free just to help you get started. Again, the links to sign up are in the description down below, and both trainings and all of the tools are completely free. So make sure to register for the trainings, links in the description down below.
Tip number 2 is make sure you have really good amenities that are going to draw people to that property during the low season. The high season is the high season for a reason. There's a whole bunch of compelling reasons why people want to come there in that particular season. And so because you have a low season, it means you probably don't have those same advantages. For example, if you look at a market like Florida, the high season is in the summertime, or rather the winter time, because in the winter time, it's really beautiful weather down in Florida. People want to get away from the cold and escape down there to get into the Florida heat. But in the off season, the summertime, it's really bad weather down there. People aren't going there for the weather. It's already really nice further up north, and it's hurricane season down in Florida. Similarly, or kind of the opposite, if you look up north in more northern areas, a lot of the time the high season is summertime, because again, the weather's amazing. You can go to lakes, you can go swimming, all these different things. But in the low season, the winter time, there's no such draw. You've got winter, people don't like the cold. So what can we do to draw people to our property in that time? Well, it's gonna come down to amenities. Now, pro tip, if you purchase in an area that has a big draw because of some attraction in that area, for example, if you buy a property up north in Canada, well, that property is going to do really well in high season. But if you buy a property that's near a ski hill, for example, or really good snowmobile trails, then it can actually help it out a lot in the low season. So bear that in mind. You can also add amenities like, for example, a sauna or a hot tub. They're going to draw more people up there for their winter getaway. You can also add much less expensive amenities like snowshoes, hiking poles, all kinds of different things for people to be able to just enjoy winter activities up there. You can get creative with this. You can add a movie theater in the basement, which can be very inexpensive to do. You can just spend a few $100s on a projector, a soundbar, things like that, and attract people for that. You just want to get creative. It'll depend on where the property is located and who your ideal guest is, but you want to think about adding amenities that are going to make people want to travel to your property, give them a reason to, because in low season, they might not have that reason yet. Your property might be enough to give them that reason, making the stay more unique, making it more fun, those sorts of things. So that's my second tip, is to add amenities that are going to draw people there in the low season months. My third tip for getting your property really, really well booked up during low season is marketing. Now, again, in the high season, your problem is really just gonna be pricing strategy. In order to optimize high season, you just gotta get pricing dialed in, because you probably don't need more eyeballs on your property. There's already enough that it's going to get booked up. The opposite of that is true in low season though. In low season, you probably don't have enough eyeballs on that property to get it fully booked up. So more eyeballs on the property, more people top of funnel is going to be really, really helpful. So this is when you might want to consider launching onto different OTAs, different platforms. Take it from Airbnb and expand it out to VRBO. You might want to also try different marketing strategies, like, for example, collecting guest email addresses with something like a Stayfi unit, which I've talked about in other videos, or just collecting them through a guest book software like Hostfully. All kinds of ways you can do that. And then remarketing to generate repeat guests. That's another great way to get more people top of funnel. You can also consider taking direct bookings, which I don't generally recommend as a really great strategy because it's a lot of work and generally you're gonna have to invest into it quite a bit. So it's just not really the best path of least resistance for most people in my experience. But another great strategy that I've found with certain unique properties is to market them directly on Instagram. Properties tend to be very photogenic. If you have a cool property, it can lend itself really well to Instagram, and you can actually do different promotion strategies through Instagram that are going to get a lot more eyeballs on your property. You can even do something as simple as just listing the property on Facebook Marketplace and then directing people over to the Airbnb listing to book. There's all kinds of things you can do to get more bookings, more eyeballs on the property, and that's going to result in more bookings. So if you can do some of that additional marketing to get more eyeballs on the property, on the listing, then you will in turn get more bookings as well. So those are my 3 tips, 3 things that I've done in the past and I consistently do that honestly help me out tremendously with staying booked in the low season. I've had my properties perform way better than any other property in the market for low season using this strategy. So I promise you, if you implement these to a T and you do them really well, you'll be able to get your property booked up through low season as well. So if you want any other thoughts, if you have any other questions, comments, anything like that, let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked this video, if it was valuable, if it was helpful to you at all, then make sure you hit the like button down below the video here and just show your support. It also helps me to get these videos in front of more people, and it shows me what kind of content you guys want to see more of. So just hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. I post 2 new videos every single week here on the channel, helping you to learn more about how to manage, invest in, and host short-term rental properties more successfully, more effectively, more efficiently. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.